Let's talk about a new feature in Control X 2025.1, DMIS reporting. The Digital Metrology Standards Consortium, or DMSC, manage a couple file formats that function as neutral interchange language between metrology systems and facilitate open communication of metrology information between them. These two formats are the Digital Metrology Interface Standard, DMIS, and Quality Information Framework, QIF. Control X 2025.1 now supports the DMIS standard. This standard, most recently revised in 2022, conforms to the ISO 22093-2011 standards for industrial automation systems and integration. We added DMIS export to Control X in response to overwhelming feedback from our sales team, resellers, and support team, all reporting customer requests for this format. It is commonly used in the automotive industry, and OEMs like Volvo, Audi, and Daimler require their suppliers to submit reports in this format. Those major OEMs have manufacturing operations globally, and these customer requests came in from each region. DMO files are human-readable formatted text files containing all of the measurement data in either the entire Control X project or one or more result groups. It's not much to look at by itself, but we'll get to where it's useful downstream of Control X in a minute. The DMIS report can be saved from a couple different locations in Control X. On the ribbon, for each user profile, we've added a DMIS report button to the Tools tab in the Report group. This option can also be found in the menu drop-down under Tools, Report Tools. Selecting this option brings up a dialog asking where the files should be saved and which result data groups should be included in this export. You can see the file format for this new report is .dmo. DMIS files are used to convey measurement results from inspection software like Control X to other software downstream for use in quality management systems, statistical process control, etc. To demonstrate one scenario, I've enlisted the help of Griffin, who works with a software application that accepts DMO files called EMMA. In Control X, I'll run 5 different STL files to the same Control X project and export the results from each as a DMO file. I'll turn it over to Griffin now to explain what happens next.
Okay, today I'm going to show you how you can use another hexagon software called EMMA Fusion to analyze your Control X data more in the SPC realm. So inside of EMMA Fusion here, we're going to be able to take that CAD file and that DMO file from Control X and find capability, trend charts, different graphics. But before we can do that, we need to actually import the data. So the way it's going to work is over here in the top right, I'm going to create a file space for my part, and I'm going to name it Control X. There we go. And I'm going to hit OK. And then you can see here, I already have one made. So it's going to tell me I have one by that name right there. So if I go over to that box I already made, you'll see a couple different things. So what I need to run a part in EMMA Fusion is an inspection plan, a actual tactile measurement, and then my geometry. So from Control X, I have this gas valve STP file showing me this CAD. And then I also have this test DMO that was outputted directly from the software. And that's going to act as both my inspection plan and my measurement. So when I'm running parts in Control X, what I can do is hit this upload button right here. And what this will let me do is load in as many DMO files as I want to. So if I continually run this part with the same CAD model, I can then continually dump those Control X outputs in here and further my analysis. Now, to actually analyze this data, what I'm going to do is go over to my Control X box and hit play. And what that's going to do is show me my CAD. And then you can see here, I have the one characteristic that I inputted with that DMO file, or I'm sorry, one part run. And there's a few different things I can do with that. So the first thing we're going to look at is actually analyzing the SPC part of it. So you can see each characteristic here just has one measurement. If it's in the green, which is within specification, it's going to be green. And if it's red, it's going to be out of specification. So you can see here, this part is good. And as I rotate it around, I can see my different features here. I'm able to change the size of those vectors, turn them on and off. And there's a couple different things I can do. So I can see my exact measurement by using this trend chart, but I can also do a bar chart, a statistical analysis, trend numerical. If I do stats, for example, you can see some pretty popular values in here. You can see we have our defined axes from Control X, and then I can get my capability as well. So CPCPK. Here I just have the one test file, so it's going to show up as blank. But as I add more, like we discussed earlier in the beginning, I'll be able to get my capability right there. But you can see my nominal, my minimum, my mean, my max. It's all contained in that DMO file. Now, outside of the kind of minor aesthetic changes we can do here, the next thing to talk about is reporting. So in order to do a report in here, I'm going to create something called a scene. So it's going to show a little movie director icon with a little plus. And essentially what this is going to do is if I click that plus, it's going to take a screenshot of exactly what I'm looking at. And then I can print this exact screen out as a PDF report. Now, the only other thing to mention is as I get those new DMO files from Control X, if I load more parts in, the other way I can upload those is through the file space here. So if I create this file space and set this up, what it'll do is every time Control X dumps that DMO file, another one here, let's say it's test2, into a specific folder on your PC, Emma Fusion will actually automatically add this to the part profile. So you can take all of that data without having to manually drag and drop it. But yeah, that's essentially the connection there between Control X and Emma Fusion. This is just another hexagon tool that lets you expand a little bit in the SPC world and just do a little more with your data. Thank you for your time.